on this football team for Cawood.
So 2nd down and 7 for the Blue Devils. 2 wide receivers to the right side. Reeder will turn. He'll give it to Stafford off left side. 10 on his feet, 15. Takes some punishment, but gets across the 20-yard line. And Tommy gets a first down and gets the Blue Devils out of the shadow of the end zone.
Good run by the junior Stafford. Chris Stafford, 5'10", 161. Good second effort as he just kept those feet churning and did a good job holding on to the football.
So it'll be first down and 10 yards to go for the Blue Devils as they are just on the 20-yard line. Stafford remains in at tailback as it is Tressler wide right. He'll give to Stafford. Will Reeder about a yard on the play as Farmer tripped Stafford up at the feet, and Mike Sizemore finished off the play. About a short 1-yard gain will bring up 2nd down and 9. Cherry comes in, so does Clemens. Tressler goes out, as does John Clemens. So one replaces the other, Tommy. 2nd and long for the Blue Devils. 5-man line for the Trojans. Reeder looks it over. He'll turn, toss to the right to Stafford. A little bit of a hole, got room, 25, 30. Stumbles forward, will pick up the first down out to the 34-yard line as you can officially credit Adam Farley with another tackle, but really I think it was maybe his footing, Tommy, that took him down.
Chris made a good run to get past the line of scrimmage and used a block by Bubba Jennings to kind of break that thing and just stumbled and fell. Terry, good run by the junior.
Pickup of 12 by Chris Stafford, and what you see, Tommy, is Chris holding on to the football, making sure he does not fumble.
And be careful, Griffin is in the game as a wingback on that right side. They may be looking to go inside to him again, and they are a little bit better. He bounces it inside, 35, makes a move, 40, taken down high at the 44-yard line by Steve Lewis. But enough for the first down on the run, and Tommy, a little bit better blocking that time, and he kept it inside.
That was more of the slice trap. You pull the guard and kick, and he cuts inside as opposed to that wing-back sweep sort of play they had run earlier where he's supposed to bounce it outside. Good movement by that offensive line to create a hole for Griffin.
So 1st and 10, 44-yard line. 3 wide receivers now for Reeder. He will take a quick drop. He's looking for Carson again. In and out of his hands as the pass was just a little bit high. But Reeder had him wide open in the middle of that zone again, Tommy.
Caught him in the seam, got him between the linebacker and the safety, and Carson wide open, just bounced loose, and that would have been a good pickup for Reeder.
And it's this evening a little strange. It may be the atmosphere, the rain this evening, Tommy, but Carson's dropped 2, and he normally doesn't. He's pretty sure-handed on most occasions.
That's right.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Blue Devils. Their own 44-yard line. Stafford still your tailback. Reeder will turn, tosses it to the right. Stafford looking for room, trips over his own blocker's foot, still trying to push forward as he was in the grasp of Scott Howard. And they will give him about a half-yard loss. So 3rd and 10.5 for the Blue Devils, right back at the line of scrimmage with 45 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Sellers checks in, and you don't feel like Sellers is going in to block anybody. Sellers going to go in there and probably going to get that football.
So 3rd down and a little more than 10 for the Blue Devils. Tressler to the left, Cherry to the right. Carson is a tight end on the right side. Reeder turns, belly to belly. Now he's going to run the option. Pitches it to Sellers. 45-50. First down, 45 and more to the 40. And you're right, Tommy. Sellers isn't blocking. He's just going to get the ball and take it straight ahead.
The option coming down the left side, play fake to the fullback, and Reeder makes the sure two-handed pitch in the wet and rainy conditions, not wanting to take a chance on making a bad pitch. This might be the final play of the period if we can get it off. Terry, what about Jade tonight running the football?
Tommy, 16 yards on that play. Jade goes over the 100-yard mark, the first Lebanon player to do it this season. 10 carries, 102 yards tonight for Jade.
That's going to do it for the 3rd quarter. Lebanon leads 21-0, and we'll be back after this timeout. Sam Axley and John Bryan down on the field, bringing you homecoming action tonight as Lebanon leads Cawood High School from Harlan, Kentucky, 21-0, and we've got 12 minutes to play.
And it's first down, 10 yards to go for the Blue Devils. The 41-yard line of Cawood. Cherry is a wingback on the left side. Stafford, the tailback, tries the right side. 40, puts his head down, will get across the 35, and Tommy, a good job of fighting as he gets down to the 33.
That's good effort by Chris Stafford. That's the Chris Stafford we saw a lot of in the preseason, fighting for that extra yardage, hanging on to that football, and jumping into those defenders. Terry, good run by Chris.
Pickup of 7 that time for Chris. Chris has run the ball tonight 6 times, 33 yards.
And it'll be second down and 3 for the Blue Devils, and this drive, Terry, started at the own 5-yard line for Lebanon.
Started at the 5. Lebanon has run 9 plays, all of them on the ground, and is now at Cawood's 33.
So second and 3. Tressler to the right, Cherry the wingback. They will give it to Stafford straight up the middle. Big hole, 30, 25, 20. Needs a block and spun out of bounds at the 11-yard line. He needed a block. He got hit by Ben Lovely, who spun him around and finally got knocked out of bounds by Jeremy Lee, but not Tommy before he got to the 11.
John, right there in front of you, Stafford with a lot of effort running the football.
Tommy, he busted it up the middle, saw something outside, got there in a hurry. Chris Stafford giving 120% in this fourth quarter.
So it'll be first and 10 for the Blue Devils just outside the 10-yard line. They already lead 21-0 and look to put more on the board. Reeder looks over the defense. Stafford remains the tailback. They will toss it to him over the left side. Man coming in. He gets a block. Has a lead block in front of him. Can he make the end zone? They say he does. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
Chris Stafford with a great job of using those blockers as he just waited and waited and waited. Great block by Shane Woodall. He just got on his hip and rode the block of Woodall all the way in the end zone and stretches it for 6. Gannon will snap it to Reeder as Zachary will attempt the PAT for the Blue Devils.
So with 10:55 remaining here in the ball game, 27-0 as Zachary attempts to put the extra point through for the Blue Devils. As Tommy told you, Gannon will snap, Reeder the hold, Zachary the kick. It is good, and we have a 28-0 lead to the Blue Devils over the Trojans of Cawood. We'll be back with more Blue Devil action in just a moment. Good to meet you, sir.
Jeff's one of our... Jeff won.
An impressive march by Lebanon, 95 yards, 11 plays. Chris Stafford with his first touchdown of the season, 11-yard touchdown run. Zachary with the extra point. 10:55 left in the game. Lebanon leading Cawood now 28-0.
And Zachary lines it up to kick off. Middleton stands deep at his 10-yard line. Zachary and Presley been getting a workout on kickoffs this evening. It'll bounce to the up back. He'll take it at the 30, up to the 35, and out to the 38-yard line for the Trojans. And I have to apologize a little bit this evening. That is lovely. I don't know about you, Tommy, but those light blue numbers are just a little hard to read from this distance.
It's tough when they're picking up a little mud on those things as they get wet, and there's just a hint of red outline on those numbers, and that makes it awfully difficult to pick up from up here in the press box.
It'll be first and 10 for the Trojans. 10:40 remaining in the ball game. 2 wide receivers to the left, I formation behind Saylor. He'll turn, belly play, second back through, big hole again. 9-10, they will give him a first down almost to the 50-yard line. Goes Curtis, and Terry, he's been racking up some yardage this evening.
Sam, he just picked up 10 more, 15 carries, 97 yards tonight for Denny Curtis.
That guy's had a good night, and that's a good football play. That second man through. Elliott Carson is checked in at a defensive end for the Blue Devils. Griffin comes out at linebacker, and Luke Shepard checks in at linebacker opposite Jade Sellers. Now check that. We've got Shepard and Morris in as our 2 linebackers.
First and 10 for the Trojans. Give to Curtis straight up the middle this time. Reynolds gets a hold of him, but after he gets about 4, almost 5 yards, down to the 46-yard line of the Blue Devils.
Tressler will check in to the secondary for Lebanon High School, and coming out of the football game is Ricky Phillips.
So with a 28-0 lead, Tommy, the shuffling kind of begins on homecoming as chance for Bob Dillard to play some of his second and third string players. Second and about 5 for the Trojans. Give again to Curtis. This time not as much running room. He'll get one